Today we're going to be creating a digital color wheel using a web-based application called Pixlr. First thing you are going to do is open your design class Google Classroom. You should have an assignment in your classwork section titled Digital Color Wheel. This is my demo class, so this is the only assignment that we see in there right now. You'll see many more. Click on the instructions of that assignment, and embedded in the instructions you will find the pixlr.com link. Don't click on that just yet. You need to add the blank color wheel before you get onto the website. So click on the blank color wheel JPEG, and this will pop up. Go ahead to your top right corner and save that image to your photos. X that out, and then you're ready to click on the pixlr.com link. That should direct you to a page that looks like this. You're going to scroll and click on Pixlr E, not Pixlr X, Pixlr E. And we'll go ahead and create new. Let's hope that this works for me here. Bear with me if we have a couple of technical hiccups. Doesn't work quite as well on the iPad as the web browser or computer or laptop. So I clicked on Square HD. You can see the blue underline. That's the one you're going to want to do. We want to have a square canvas, square digital canvas. And it's not letting me click. I keep touching it because we need to name it. We need to title it Color Wheel. And here's our blank canvas that looks like a checkerboard. There's nothing on it yet, so we're going to add that color wheel image in there. It's saved into our photos, so we go up to File, Open Image, and we're going to add that from our photo library. There we go. So before we start filling in these areas and creating all of our primary, secondary, and intermediate colors in each of these pieces of the pie, we want to get rid of the background stuff. Okay, so we're going to use this, go up to the top right corner, and there's a little thing that looks like a magic wand. It has little stars coming out of it. That is our wand select tool. Click on that, and we're going to click somewhere in the background. And you'll see all of these little areas highlight and pop up. And we have all these dotted lines. So once all of that background area is selected, go up to Edit and hit Clear. That takes away our background, and now we're ready to go. I want to get everything deselected. So let's just click on another tool. We're going to click on the paint bucket. That little paint bucket, oops. And it's technically called fill because we're going to fill these areas in with color. So make sure that little paint bucket that is pouring paint is highlighted. And then we're going to click on this color down here. Yours might just be black and white if it's the first time using it. Mine is blue and black at this time because blue was the last color I used. I'm going to click on that blue color and the whole painting palette will come up. I'm going to start with my red first. If you're using this for the first time, red might have been the first color that popped up there. So we want to try and find the most pure red. This looks like kind of a pinkish red. So I'm going to go down to the very bottom actually. And that looks like a little bit more of a pure red. And this goes in that visual color spectrum, that Roy Jabiv order that we were talking about in our last class session. So this red looks pretty good. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to fill in one of these slices up near the top. And we're going to fill in the rest of the primary colors. So we have our first primary color, red. We're going to go, our next primary color will be blue. So find your most purest blue, click OK, and I'm going to move over 3 slices. We need to leave 3 slices white in between our primary colors. So I'm going to go in a counterclockwise direction. 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be my blue piece of pie. Click on my color, and I'm gonna scroll on down to the yellow and try and find a nice pure yellow. Here we go. Same thing. I'm going to count 3 slices of pie and drop the color in and fill the color in on the 4th. 1, 2, 3, blank. 4th piece of pie is yellow. So our primary colors are locked in, loaded, and established. Now we're going to lock in our secondary colors. So if we take, let's start with red again. We're going to mix red and yellow together. If we mix equal parts of red and yellow, we're going to make an orange. So let's click on our color and scroll that down to orange and try and find a nice pure kind of middle of that area orange. You don't want it to be too light or too dark because that might be approaching an intermediate color. So right in between that slice of pie, oops, let's go back. I made a mistake there. So I'm going to go up to edit and click undo. I don't want that background to be orange. But I do want the slice in between that is perfectly in the middle of the red and yellow to be orange. And then I'm going to click on orange again. Let's lock in our red orange. So that looks like a pretty good red orange there. Maybe you can always move it around. Your intermediate colors might look a little bit different than mine. So we have a nice red orange in between our pure orange and red. Now for our next intermediate color, that color in between the primary and secondary color, we need a nice yellow orange. That looks pretty yellow. It's getting there. I'm going to kick it over a little bit next door and lock that one in. And let's just move in a nice clockwise direction. So we're going to move on to our secondary color. And if we mix equal parts of yellow and blue, we're going to make green. So let's find a nice pure green in here. Remember, you don't want it to be too yellow. You don't want it to be too blue. Try and find a nice pure green. It's going to be kind of bright on this digital version. It would maybe be a little darker if we were actually mixing paint. So that looks good. Now let's get those in-between colors, those intermediate or tertiary colors. Another fancy word is tertiary. And I'm gonna start with the yellow green. We're mixing our yellow and green. So let's get a nice light yellow green. That looks pretty good. Let's check that. Yeah, that looks nice. Then let's go for a nice blue green. On Pixlr here, the blue green's gonna be like a teal, which is actually one of my favorite colors. If we were mixing paint, this would be significantly darker. But for some reason we don't get like true blue greens. They end up being teal on this digital version. All right, our color is looking good. We're almost done. We just need to get our next secondary color of purple or violet. So when we mix red and blue together, we make violets or purples, whichever one you prefer to say. Purple's kind of a funny word, huh? Purple. All right, let's get those in-between colors. I'm gonna make a red or a blue violet here. So I'm gonna click back on my purple dot and I'm gonna drop it down just a little bit. And if we click down here, that's looking pretty good there. Let's try a little bit next door. I want it to be a little bit more purpley. There we go. That looks good. And for our last intermediate tertiary color, we are gonna find a red violet. The red violets on Pixlr also end up being more of like a magenta color. So I'm gonna drop it down just a little bit there. And Voila! Our color wheel is almost complete. So the last thing that we're going to do with our color wheel is add a background to it. This is just to ensure that you're not going to go onto Google Image and steal some random color wheel off of the internet. So we're going to make it a little more personal to you. What I want you to do is click the plus sign, add a tab, and you're gonna Google black and white pattern. Generally this is what will pop up. There's tons of different patterns that you can choose from. It might help if you choose a square pattern, just since that's the size that we're working with. I kind of like this like tagging graffiti style one. So you can add that to your photos. Click add to photos, and then go back to your Pixlr. To add this in, you're going to want to hit this plus sign. We have our layers area over here, and you're going to click this little plus sign, and all of these tools pop up. Click the one that looks like a little landscape, that's adding an image, and then you're gonna grab that image from your photos. Oh, the one I wanted didn't pop up. Where did it go? All right, let's just click that one. We're gonna resize it. I just had an ad pop up here, so you can X out those ads to get it off of your view. And we're gonna resize this, and it's gonna go over the entire thing. I would probably want to change this. This image looks really blurry to me, and I don't like it, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just gonna, it shows y'all what to do. But now, our color wheel's gone. That's not gonna work. What can we do for this? We just take our layer over here. We're gonna highlight that layer, and then hold your finger down and pull it, and then your color wheel will come right on top of that. So then you have a cool, interesting black and white background for your color wheel. The last thing you're gonna wanna do is go up to File, Save, Download. And just to ensure, I'm going to go ahead and screenshot as well. So I'm going to press my home and power button at the same time and click on that and just edit the background stuff just to make sure that it's in there. And we have it two different ways, just in case. Save to photos. And that is our digital color wheel. So go ahead and upload this to the Google Classroom assignment for credit and participation. Happy coloring.